Dean Barron, Jacksonville, Oregon.
Beautiful creatures.
Thanks for spending part of your Christmas with us. We'll see you back here for the news at 6 and at 11.
From all of us at News Center 6, to all of you, Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's Thanksgiving on Christmas Day. Citizens of Tuzla grateful for a measure of safety. American troops heartened by their first hot holiday meal. An ailing Pope John Paul II halts his Christmas greeting, saying he can't go on. And a farewell to the crooner and the comic, Dean Martin.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm Edie Magnus. Merry Christmas. In Bosnia, Christmas was day 4 of the NATO peacekeeping mission, and the American commander called it a good day. Skies were clear and planes unloaded more troops and equipment. But for the people, survivors of a bloody civil war, it was more than that. Christmas meant tidings of comfort and joy. Bob Simon reports.
It isn't Rome, it isn't Bethlehem. The Christian community is not large. But nowhere in the world was Christmas rung in with more thanksgiving than in the Sacred Heart Cathedral of Sarajevo. It may be America's first Christmas in Bosnia. It was Sarajevo's first midnight mass in 4 years. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the city, the curfew was lifted for the first time since the war began. People reveled in their revelry. They deserved it, too. Christmas Day was moving day for many Serbs of Sarajevo. They continued their bitter retreat from the Bosnian capital. But other Serbs had reason to celebrate. These men were POWs until yesterday. Many saw their families today for the first time in more than 2 years. In Tuzla, the holy day came in with a bang as GIs detonated a mine, and Christmas went on patrol. The Pentagon turned caterer today, bringing in not frankincense and myrrh, but 17,000 turkeys, 23,000 pounds of ham, 10,500 pounds of corn.
Airborne, chow.
It was the first hot meal for many GIs in more than 2 weeks. Praise the lunch and pass the ammunition. Some guys seemed to be wearing the turkey on their heads. The Americans downed it all with Pepsi. The Spaniards had champagne. That's how they toasted their shrimp. The British had food fights, and the French got stuck in the mud. Any excuse to light up. And on the Croatian side of the Sava River, men of the 1st Armored Division, still waiting for that bridge to be built, received communion in a field. For many, Christmas was just another day. It was just another day for the parents of the 71 young people killed by that Serb shell in Tuzla last May. They came to the same clearing in a pine forest where they come every day to remember and reflect on what madness wreaked havoc with their lives. But there's good reason to believe the killing is over now, perhaps for bad reasons. The different peoples of Bosnia who used to live together are segregated now in their own enclaves, separated by the forces of NATO. Will they ever come together again? That may be less a question of politics than of faith. Bob Simon, CBS News, Tuzla.
At the Vatican, Pope John Paul had to cut short his traditional Christmas greetings to the world when he was overcome by flu-like symptoms. More than 30,000 pilgrims came to St. Peter's Square to hear the Pope deliver his Christmas message. Halfway through, he heaved a deep sigh and said he couldn't go on. 20 minutes later, the pontiff returned to the window to reassure the crowd he was not seriously ill and wish them a Merry Christmas.
Buon Natal.
A spokesman said the 75-year-old Pope's general health is good, but he is exhausted by his holiday schedule and had a slight fever after last night's midnight mass. You don't have to be a Christian to celebrate Christmas, especially in the Holy Land, where Yasser Arafat led the festivities at the traditional birthplace of Jesus. The PLO was in control just days after the last Israeli troops pulled out of Bethlehem on the West Bank. Jesse Schulman reports.
Christmas Eve in Bethlehem was no silent night. After nearly 3 decades of Israeli occupation, the words joyful and triumphant took on a whole new meaning. Finally free to wave their flags and their guns, the Palestinians used Manger Square for a celebration of liberation. But there's got to be a morning after. Under a warm West Bank sun, the town woke up and started cleaning up. Soon, buses packed with pilgrims and tourists reconquered the square, which was quiet after the night's revelry and once again safe for religion and retailing. Many visitors, unsure of their security, had stayed away last night, but the first Palestinian Christmas was a pleasant surprise for even the most discerning of travelers.
At first I got a bit scared, because so much trouble here. But now, the Palestinian people,
Inside, the church is filled with the faithful from around the world, the ancient rituals untouched by the passage of time and power. Still, the real star of Bethlehem this year was PLO chief Yasser Arafat, whipping up the adoring crowd when he arrived on Saturday, grabbing the spotlight as man of the hour at midnight mass, kissing the clergy, and, even though a Muslim, declaring he had found a new friend in Jesus.
the glory of the Jesus Christ will give us more power and more strength to continue in the march of peace.
This Christmas pageant completed Arafat's reinvention of himself as peacemaker and showed him basking in the love of his people, with exceptions. But as the smoke of nationalism cleared, it was just possible for the determined pilgrim to find a moment to be alone with his God, to find a trace of the eternal, a trace that endures no matter whose hands hold the guns outside. Jesse Schulman, CBS News, Bethlehem.
Still ahead on this Christmas edition of the CBS Evening News, investigators find the likely cause of an extraordinary train derailment in Spain. And flight voice recorders reveal the possible cause of that deadly American Airlines crash in Colombia.
Dick, it makes my hands tingle just to think about handing over a prize so big.
Oh, $11 million. The winner will be super rich.
Even richer than these winners.
Do you think the new $11 million winner is watching us right now?
Oh, I hope so. Please be sure to act at once on this sweepstakes. The only one from us.
$1,000 a day, every day, year after year after year can be yours this soon.
The $11 million prize we'll personally award is waiting.
If you want relief from minor arthritis pain, turn up the heat on arthritis. Just minutes after applying ultra-strength Bengay, you can actually see the heat. It's the strongest, most advanced Bengay ever, with the heating power of 3 pain relievers. So turn up the heat on arthritis.
You've had soup with mushrooms, but have you tasted mushrooms? With rice, but have you tasted rice? Flavor comes to life in New Campbell's Country Mushroom Rice Soup. Taste the flavors of all the good things in it. New Campbell's Country Mushroom Rice, where taste comes to life.
The shopping season ended the way it began for the country's hard-pressed retailers. Analysts said 1995 was the worst year for sales in recent memory, capped by the weakest Christmas surge in decades. Some experts blame mounting consumer debt. Others say there are too many stores selling too many of the same things. About 200,000 furloughed federal workers will be staying home again tomorrow, the 11th day of a record-long partial government shutdown. There will be no new talks on the budget stalemate until Wednesday at the earliest, when Congress comes back from the holiday recess. Debonair Dean Martin died today at his home in Beverly Hills, California. Martin's comedy act with Jerry Lewis made him a household name. But it was Martin's post-Lewis career that made him a star. Reed Galen in Hollywood has the Dean Martin story.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
He had a certain style. Everybody falls in love somehow. A certain nonchalance. A way of performing, whether on nightclub stage or Hollywood set, that looked as if it all came so easily. He was born Dino Paul Crocetti, son of an immigrant Italian barber. He delivered bootleg whiskey to the clubs around Steubenville, Ohio, and then began singing in them. A band leader renamed him Dean Martin. In 1946, Martin was sharing a bill with a comedian named Jerry Lewis. They began horsing around together on stage. Movies and television followed. Martin played the straight man for 10 years until he tired of it and broke up with Lewis, going back out on his own. Hollywood took him seriously.
I guess this is his. Nice, fresh $50 gold piece.
There were dozens of movies and a highly rated TV show.
Oh, don't be nervous, folks. Dean is fine. He just fell in the wine cellar.
He ran with Frank Sinatra's so-called Rat Pack.
I'd like to thank the NAACP for this wonderful trophy. Put me down!
It was Sinatra who reunited Martin and Lewis in the 70s. And through it all, there was always the crooner with a voice smooth as 12-year-old Scotch. Friends said he never drank as much as people thought.
Look good to you. But the people want it that way, so I let him figure. He's a little bit drunk, a little bit high, but we love him, so why fight that?
Martin once said he only went into show business because friends liked his Bing Crosby imitation. Dean Martin died today of respiratory failure. He was 78.
For someone like you.
I'm glad you made it to the reunion. Oh, I can't believe it's been 20 years. Oh. You okay? I could use some Tylenol. Here.
Oh, ibuprofen? No, I can't. I had an ulcer.
Really? My husband had an ulcer.
Oh, he should be careful. My doctor says ibuprofen can aggravate an ulcer. Tylenol just works great.
If you're using ibuprofen, Tylenol may be safer for you. Talk to your doctor.
20 years later, you've still given me the answer.
Are you ever going to listen?
Maxwell House introduces new Irish cream cappuccino in 4 easy steps. Delicious. New Irish cream cappuccino, only from Maxwell House.
You know, I've lost a lot of sleep over Nitol. People who worried about sleep aids felt safe counting me. Now they count on Nitol. It helps them sleep without becoming a habit. I hate to admit it. Nitol will help you get your Z's.
This year, we've given away more prizes than ever before.
Can you believe it?
But next month, you could win the big one.
Next month, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol will surprise a new $10 million winner. Live on TV Sunday, January 28th.
Will it be you?
Not me.
What will you say?
Holy cow!
Enter the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes now. And on Sunday, January 28th, the biggest winner could be you.
You're driving, and you're about to crash, but suddenly something saves you.
That's a 1-second warning.
That's right. Soon your car will be able to warn you, or even stop itself.
You'll see all the lights coming on telling me, hey, that you are just way too close here for these kind of speeds.
How does this new system work, and when can you get it? We'll tell you tomorrow.
2 engineers were killed today in a spectacular train accident south of Madrid, Spain. The express train carrying more than 200 passengers derailed as it crossed a bridge over a deep ravine. Cars jackknifed into the air and dangled over the side of the tracks while the locomotive fell into the ravine. Officials blamed the derailment on a mudslide. In Colombia, search crews have recovered the bodies of all but 2 of the 160 people killed in that crash of an American Airlines jetliner. U.S. aviation experts are in the early stages of their crash investigation, but Bob Orr tells us they've already formed some preliminary opinions.
Investigators have virtually ruled out sabotage or a catastrophic mechanical failure and are now focusing on human error on the part of the pilots, air traffic controllers, or both as the most likely cause of the crash of American Airlines Flight 965. CBS News has learned the plane's cockpit voice recorder, recovered from the wreckage, reveals no sounds of an explosion and no distress calls from the crew. And the other black box, the flight data recorder, shows the Boeing 757 flew a steady course and made no abrupt turns on its approach to Cali. One investigator told CBS News the data seemed to confirm an original theory that, quote, the jet just flew into the mountain. Planes approached the Cali airport through a narrow gap in the Andes. Somehow, Flight 965 was 13 miles off course when it crashed. Colombian and U.S. authorities are struggling to find out how that could have happened on a clear night with experienced pilots at the controls. Investigators offer a number of possibilities. The pilots may have allowed the plane to drift. Colombian air traffic controllers may have given the crew an incorrect heading. There may have been a miscommunication between the tower and the cockpit. Or onboard navigational computers may have been misprogrammed, sending the plane on a fatal collision course unnoticed by the controllers or crew. It will be months before investigators know exactly what happened, but they have already eliminated a number of possibilities and are confident of finding the cause of the deadliest crash involving a U.S. airliner in 7 years. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next, meet the new boss. Same as the old boss in a former Soviet republic.
Merry Christmas.
I just wasn't satisfied with how my headache medicine was working. Then my doctor told me about a medicine called Arudis.
Of all the prescription pain medicines, 82% of doctors surveyed have prescribed Arudis. And now it's available in a non-prescription strength. Potent new Arudis KT. Just 25 milligrams is as effective as 400 milligrams of Motrin IB, 440 of Aleve, or 1,000 milligrams of extra-strength Tylenol.
Now I've got Arudis KT.
New Arudis KT, the potent medicine for pain.
Just for fun, Dick, can you name all of American Family's winners of millions?
Yeah, we got Marjorie Godzik, David Brumbelow, Janice Hamlin, Andy Biggs, Daniel Rogers.
Go on.
There's too many, Ed.
And an $11 million winner is coming up.
Our biggest prize yet, and another name to remember.
Could be your name attached to the $11 million prize Dick and I will award for American Family.
And then I'll be remembering your name.
And your $11 million.
Presenting the possibilities of plastics. Plastics help save you from dents and broken bones. It helped protect my patella. They help save energy.
Thin light plastics. Fewer trucks. Less gas.
They help save you from being scrambled.
They help save the soda.
They help food stay fresher.
Brussels sprouts?
Plastics can even help save toddlers from trouble.
And this vest helped save my dad's life.
Plastics make it possible.
Lots of deadlines, lots of money, lots of screaming. It starts to burn a hole in your gut. Antacids are more prevalent in the brokerage industry than coffee is in Colombia. I take Tagamet HB. Tagamet HB works. You don't have to chew it. You don't have to drink it. You could take it and go on with the rest of your life.
Should these women be living on your tax dollars? People are outraged over welfare.
Why should it take 2 years to get them off? Get them off.
48 hours Thursday.
Election returns from Turkey show big gains for an Islamic party that wants to loosen Turkey's ties with the West. The Islamic Welfare Party led with 21% of the vote, winning more seats than any other party in the new parliament. Conservative Prime Minister Tansu Çiller resigned today, but she may try to form a new coalition with other pro-Western parties. In Russia, Muslim rebels have withdrawn from the second largest city in the breakaway Chechen Republic, but not before the town was pulverized by a week of all-out war. 37 Russian soldiers and hundreds of Chechen civilians were reported killed. Hundreds of buildings were damaged or destroyed. The Kremlin is fighting to keep Chechnya because of fears that Russia itself could break up just as the old Soviet Union did. Just 4 years after Moscow gave up the other 14 Soviet republics, a lot has changed in what they now call the near abroad. And a lot has not changed. Correspondent Tom Fenton has a report from the former Soviet Republic of Turkmenistan.
Once a dusty, far-flung Central Asian outpost of the Soviet Union, Turkmenistan has been free from communist rule for 4 years now. But Independence Day here isn't about freedom. Big brother, move over. President Saparmurat Niyazov, Turkmenistan's former communist boss, has exchanged the cult of Lenin for the cult of himself. Even though he's replaced communist red with Turkmen green, Niyazov hasn't changed his political stripes. Turkmenistan may no longer be a dictatorship of the proletariat, but it's still a dictatorship. Niyazov calls himself Turkmen Bashi, head of all Turkmen. His face and slogans are everywhere. When we met with him at his presidential palace, he said the pictures aren't about satisfying his ego.
I admit it. There are too many portraits, pictures, monuments. I don't get any pleasure from them, but the people demand it. We will get rid of them in a couple of years. We won't use force, of course.
Niyazov denies he's a dictator, says his people love him. He's won 3 elections, the last one with 99.9% of the vote. He was the only candidate. Many Turkmen say life has gotten harder since Niyazov took over. The average wage is less than $2 a week. Food is rationed, and there are constant shortages. But Niyazov says anyone who complains about going without bread for a day isn't a true Turkmen. What's on people's plates may not matter to the president, but what's in the ground certainly does. This country sits on a bonanza of natural gas and oil. If it can find a way to run a pipeline through the territory of its unruly neighbors, Afghanistan and Iran, Turkmenistan will be rich.
This is a Kuwait-like economy in terms of its gas resources.
Niyazov isn't waiting for the money to roll in. He's already on a spending spree that includes a huge mosque dedicated to himself. He's also building a string of luxury palaces in the countryside.
What do you want? That I live in a small apartment like in Soviet times?
But President Niyazov says one day all Turkmen will live in luxury. He's promised a Mercedes in every garage. But until that day comes, no complaining allowed. The country's Pledge of Allegiance serves as a daily reminder. If I slander the Turkmen Bashi, may God make my tongue shrivel up and fall out. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Ashgabat, Turkmenistan.
When we come back, a Massachusetts mill town gives Christmas thanks to a local hero.
On the face of things, Tavesty seems to cost a bit more than these cold medicines, but prices can be deceiving. See, one little 12-hour Tavesty is so effective at relieving your congestion and sneezing that to get close to the same relief, you'd have to take 4 of these, or up to 6 of these, or 6 of these. So with these guys, you could pay more than twice as much, and you don't even get continuous relief. Now, there's something to feel sick about. Prescription strength Tavesty. Relief you can count on.
Will I get the lowest price on a collect call dialing 1-800-COLLECT? But isn't 1-800-COLLECT AT&T?
1-800-COLLECT is not AT&T. It's actually MCI. And a more expensive way to call collect.
So why didn't MCI just say they were 1-800-COLLECT?
Next time, know the code. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT. You'll always get a price that's less than MCI's 1-800-COLLECT. That's your true choice. AT&T.
Last week we thought we had a 24-hour bug.
But we may have had a mild case of salmonella poisoning.
They came from bacteria, which was spread around our kitchen to other foods.
Now we use Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner. As it cleans, it kills the bacteria and keeps them from spreading.
Which may help keep us from getting sick. Get Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner.
Mother would be astonished to see me using a furniture spray, but this is Old English spray. It has Old English oil to help clean and moisturize wood. Give your wood the Old English treatment.
How many times I told my dad to see a doctor? He was stubborn.
but the pain in his stomach just wouldn't go away. He had to go. You should have seen the relief on his face when the doctor said Mylanta.
Mylanta is fast, soothing relief. In fact, even with all the new heartburn medicines available today, doctors recommend Mylanta most for heartburn and acid indigestion.
My doctor said Mylanta.
They had every reason to think their boss would be a Grinch who stole their Christmas. Instead, the owner of a ruined textile mill gave his workers the surprise of their lives. Anthony Mason has tonight's Eye on America, a man who chose to keep the faith.
The debris of Methuen, Massachusetts' largest employer is being cleared this Christmas. For many workers at Malden Mills, their jobs here were the best they ever had.
You could go places in that mill. You could become somebody.
And then December 11th, a boiler exploded. Malden Mills burst into flames. 8 people were seriously burned, and 1,400 workers feared their lives would be left in ruins.
Well, I have 2 kids at home, and, you know, I got to take care of my kids, and I thought I was done for.
We thought our jobs were lost. We thought that he was just going to take the insurance, and we were very surprised.
The mill's owner surprised nearly everyone the next morning.
Maybe we'll add the girlish stuff to it and we'll be in full production.
70-year-old Aaron Feuerstein called his employees together and promised to rebuild.
Whatever it takes. For many years, we'll be here forever.
That's right, absolutely, forever.
2 days later, he made another promise.
For the next 30 days, all our employees will be paid their full salaries.
Thank you.
No,
Take it
tax.
easy, buddy. Okay, you're right.
Have a wonderful holiday, guys.
True to his word, the week before Christmas, the first paychecks were handed out.
And that's wonderful. And I appreciate so much.
You didn't have to do that.
No, I did not have to.
So why did you?
It was the right thing to do. Simply put.
His grandfather founded the company 90 years ago. His father worked for Malden Mills for 75 years. Aaron Feuerstein had a lot more than money invested in these buildings.
So when you watch it burn, it must be terrible. It was terrible. But on the way out here, I told myself I cannot cry. There's no weeping, no time for it.
How's it going? Thank you. It's going, isn't it? It's going. We're doing it.
Already, he's moved new machinery into the only production plant that survived.
Look at that, all ready to go.
At times, it appears Aaron Feuerstein wants to will his company back to health.
Good luck.
Well, I take about 7 in the morning.
He eats 12 oranges a day, he says, to keep himself healthy, to keep working.
It says, Dear Mr. Feuerstein, my heart goes out to you and your employees during that difficult time.
Support of all kinds has come from everywhere. Cards and letters, food, toys, even Christmas trees.
Merry Christmas.
But from Aaron Feuerstein's dedication, many employees believe there's a lesson to be learned.
That many people follow his
example.
His example. I would like that. And that's the kind of man we want to work for. And we're proud to work for him. And I can't wait to get back to work. I can't wait.
There seem to be a lot of people here who have enormous faith in you.
Yes, I think that's true. And I hope it's deserved.
Is it scary?
It's a little scary, but I don't scare easily.
On the rubble of his mill, he has already built hope. This Christmas, for the workers of Malden Mills, Aaron Feuerstein's promise is a gift.
They need their jobs.
In Methuen, Massachusetts,
how are you?
I'm Anthony Mason for Eye on America.
That's the news. Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, see how the youngest victims of the Oklahoma City bombing are recovering. I'm Edie Magnus.